So let's talk some F1, and we're going to do that by, I guess, before we talk about the race in Belgium coming up. There was a big story between the last time we spoke in a few weeks regarding F1, and it was not on the track, but it happened off the track when Red Bull fired Christian Horner. And so he is no longer the man in charge at Red Bull. Apparently, this was not a big surprise. So what did you think about it?
It was a surprise, but like you said, it wasn't a big surprise. I think with all the turmoil around Max Verstappen, we talked about it last year, and Jos Verstappen's comments and the power struggle within Red Bull, the whole scandal with inappropriate behavior with Christian Horner and other people at the organization last year that we talked about as well. Or maybe that was even earlier this year. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was last year. But
yeah, F1 season's pretty long. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes on forever. And it seems like it starts right again when you finish your races in December and then start again 3 months later. From a testing standpoint, it all kind of runs together. But so long story short, it wasn't unexpected. I think the timing of it was a surprise. Usually you would wait until you get to the next 2 races. After that, you've got the summer break. So why wouldn't you do a major move when you've got 3 weeks to put the right pieces in place and do everything behind the scenes without disrupting the flow for the final 2 races before you get to that big long summer break? We've got Belgium this weekend and Hungary next weekend, and literally you've got a guy who's now been in the job, Lauren Meckes, for like a week and a half now.
It's like they don't even. Weeks. It's like they already have written off the year. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, so it's one of two camps of thought. Number one is in order to keep Max Verstappen and turn things around, the organization has to show that they're really serious about making some major moves. So they go ahead and they let
Christian
Horner go and take a new direction. The other camp of thought is that Max Verstappen has already decided that he's leaving. And if he's already decided that he's leaving, then you blame Christian Horner and you get somebody in seat that can redirect the ship before you get to the new regulations next year.
And so that's smart too.
Probably one of those 2 things. Could be either one of them. There's been a lot of speculation since Horner was fired as to whether or not Verstappen has been meeting up with Toto Wolff from Mercedes about taking one of their seats. Speculation is that continued poor performance on Red Bull's side would trigger a contract clause where Verstappen can opt out and go somewhere where he would like, which ultimately probably the best seat available might be Mercedes at this point if McLaren's not available, since they're locked up with their 2 drivers. So very interesting to see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks and months. It was a bold move. I think that kind of hurts Red Bull and Verstappen for this weekend, not having Christian Horner in seat for this race, somebody brand new at the helm. So we'll see how they fare in Belgium. I think a podium finish this week for them would be a crowning achievement. It's going to be a struggle for them to get there, though, I think.
So, I mean, what do you think about, like, for the fans, would it be more beneficial, do you think, for Verstappen to team up with a George Russell Mercedes, or would it be better for him to stick right here? And if so, don't you think that also has a lot to do with who they do intend to bring in as a partner? Because there's no way, I can't imagine Max wants to stay there if they're just going to bring in another guy who doesn't have any experience, isn't not like the next great thing. I mean,
Red Bull definitely needs to prove to Verstappen that they're on the right track and that they've got the right decisions and right people and equipment in place for the rules change next year. And if he went to Mercedes, he would not be partnering with George Russell. He'd be partnering with Antonelli. George Russell would be the one that would be gone. Antonelli is viewed as a Mercedes guy for the future, whereas Russell's kind of been there for a little while. Yeah, he's established and he's the elder statesman, but you're going to want to switch out him for somebody like Max Verstappen versus letting your young future talent go somewhere else.
Okay. All right. Interesting. We'll have more of that coming up real soon. So whenever something happens that makes it interesting, especially for a race. So what do you like this week? Give us a winner. Pick us a winner. Give us the best way possible to try to make some money this week.
as expected, you're getting even odds for Piastri and Norris, and most likely one of them is going to finish first and the other will finish second. My choice this week is Piastri. Last time out at Silverstone home track, I picked Lando Norris. I wanted to give the hometown guys a boost, and Piastri, lo and behold, made a mistake, ended up getting penalized, and that gifted the win to Norris. So we ended up getting it right last week as well. Piastri, I think, returns to form this week at Belgium, so he would be my top pick as an outright winner. I think, given it's Belgium, given that it has a tendency to rain at this track, has some weird weather conditions, potentially cold, I think your long shot pick might end up being George Russell and Mercedes. And then I think from a longer shot perspective, there's a lot of positive bubble around the Italian press about the upgrades that Ferrari is bringing to the car, and they just tested out on a filming day a couple days ago. So Ferrari would be a surprise. Maybe you see them fighting for a podium, but I think from a top pick, it's going to be McLaren and it's going to be Piastri. From a long shot perspective, you're going to want to go with Russell and Mercedes.
Okay, there you go. And Mercedes was, what was that, 14, I believe I saw that?
Yes.
And Russell is, wow, 18.
Yeah.
So that is a long shot for Russell. He's used to being a little bit higher on the mark. So sometimes he's right behind Verstappen, but okay.
Yeah, they're putting, it looks like they're putting Hamilton and Leclerc ahead of him, which means they are buying into the reports that the Ferrari upgrades are what they seem. I'm not so sure. I think we're going to get some mixed weather conditions. Prove it to me on track. And I think with the cold weather and rain, I think Russell and Mercedes end up shining. However, they're going to have it all to do to beat McLaren and Piastri anyway, because McLaren's just been best in every situation and every track so far this season.
And with last thing, is this a good week or not a good week to take McLaren at minus 300?
This week, I would definitely take McLaren at minus 300. Again, with the drivers, you're kind of flipping a coin, likely to finish 1-2, if not both, certainly on the podium this weekend. Even if it rains, even with the weird weather conditions, I think with the weird weather conditions, it brings Russell more into play, but even still, McLaren has the advantage. So I would go with the minus 300 on McLaren.
And look, you can always hedge your bet by taking Russell because he's 18-1.
Yep.
So make sure to do that if you go minus 300 on McLaren.